Hey guys, welcome back to RIPP Superchargers and thanks for stopping by. Behind me is a 2017 Dodge Ram 1500 equipped with a 3.6 liter Pentastar and an 8-speed transmission. Now those of you who have this vehicle, thank you for reaching out to us and basically just pushing us along. We had it on our radar the whole time and we did want to make it, but thank you for being patient as we work through our Wrangler JL program, which is the newest Wrangler out there, also with a 3.6 liter. Well, anyway, this one is strapped down and we do like making some noise, but before we do that, I'd like to talk about the vehicle and the way it comes across. I think this vehicle is a really nice vehicle to drive along, and a lot of people have been purchasing it as well. It's a vehicle that does the job that it's supposed to do. If you bought a 3.6 liter, you're probably using the vehicle for light duty and sometimes loading it up with some stuff. It's great for the family. It does get pretty decent gas mileage, but when you start loading it up as a truck and you start going over to that, can tow 5,000 to 7,000 pounds, it does start to struggle, and the 8-speed kind of masks some of that power issue, but it's not really the way it should be. And while we're on the subject of power, this is the first time we're addressing the Ram community. We'd like to talk to you a little bit about how the manufacturer advertises horsepower versus the way you actually put down horsepower. Now this vehicle is advertised at 305 horsepower, but we're on a chassis dyno, and that horsepower is not exactly what you're going to see when we run it on the dyno. What you're going to see is a number that's much less. Generally speaking, anywhere from 20 to 30% less, but that could be anything. It's the dyno and it tells you what it is. The reason that number is so much less than 305 is because you're going through all the components in the engine. For example, when they're advertising that 305, that's really just the engine by itself, like on an engine dyno, without the vehicle, without any vehicle. So when you start adding power steering and an alternator and air conditioning and a transmission and a drive shaft and wheels and all the weight that goes with it, you start to lose horsepower. So don't be alarmed when you see less. Okay, a lot of people confuse that, and we always want to be clear about that. The other thing that I like about this vehicle is that it can tow up to 7,000 pounds depending on how you have it geared. So that's really different as well. If you have the vehicle geared with, let's say, a 321, you really can only tow about 4,800 pounds. But if you have the 355s, you can tow up to 7,000 pounds, making it a pretty broad range for you to use. So again, it's not that bad of an engine. So, the offset is that you get better gas mileage in the 5.7, the V8 Hemi guys, when you're using it daily, but the trade-off is that you're going to get less power. Well, anyway, that's enough talking about it. The real exciting part is that it's here for a supercharger, and that'll be in the next video, so stay tuned for that one. Let's make some noise, reconvene at the dyno, and we'll talk about it. Okay. Okay, not bad. It's actually pretty good. Right on point what we're usually looking for. So, to 250.5 horsepower, nice number. And it looks pretty standard. It's very, very clean. You can see this, the power has a very clean creep all the way to 250. It does what they usually do here on this torque line. If you could see here, we're at about 240 pounds of torque, but what ends up happening is we get these little jumps for some reason. All the Mopar 3.6s do it. It must be in the programming or just the way the cam comes across. But anyway, this is a very nice vehicle to drive. You can see you've got a very flat, torque curve. They got it tuned so that the vehicle makes, decent power down the road, and then as you're asking for more, the power ramps up and you get good power out of it. It crosses over really late, but that's again a 3.6 liter. They all do the same. So the exciting part is going to be when we do throw some boost in there, and you guys can start hedging your bets as to what they're going to make. But I think there's so much data out there that we know what we're going to make, and we're hoping to get that 400 prime or 420 horsepower at the rear wheel. So thanks for stopping by. Catch you next time.